we worked in various technologies, be it biogas, things like landfill, through to gas to power generation, CHP, and more recently into renewables such as solar and batteries. And we are an asset owner ourselves, so we know what it's like to have energy assets that connect to the grid and how to maintain them, optimize them, commercially, make them valuable. So we know how to run assets. So we definitely know how to run assets on behalf of our customers as well. And I think once you put the customer in the middle of it, it's actually making it really easy to work with us. And over 30 years, we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of customers to deliver energy generation projects. And we built a cogeneration business up to a point where we sold it back in 2016 to Centrica. And that's now something we're building back up again, which is predominantly renewables, but also gas generation. And we're replicating all of our experience over the last 30 years to make sure, A, it's really, really easy to work with us, B, we can deliver on projects, and C, have that longevity of a long-term energy partnership, which is what we're aspiring to do with our customers. Typically, our customers are large corporate, customers that use lots of energy. They're sophisticated, they're complex, they have multi-levels of structure. But I think the key thing when we start talking to any customer is listen. We have to listen. We're not in the game of selling a particular product to a customer. What we try and do is identify their issues, their concerns, their pain points, what their sustainable objectives are, is it monetary objectives, all those kind of different issues that we tease out initially. Once we've listened to that, what we can then is build a project and a commercial offering that suits that particular customer. So every time it's absolutely bespoke to that client. But you've got to listen. If you don't listen, then you are literally giving them something they potentially don't need. And once we've listened to them, we start that long-term relationship to move towards building that project, which can often take anywhere between 6 and 18 months to get it to a point where we agree to work together long-term. And because we look to fund projects, through a power purchase agreement, and energy generation assets, be it solar, battery, gas, whatever the technologies are, these contracts and partnerships are 10 to 25 years in length. So absolutely, we need to build the trust. We need to listen, and actually, we help educate our customers to get them to a point where they really understand the energy industry. But we expect our customers to carry on focusing on their requirements and their needs, and that might be that they continue making widgets or creating food or drink. And then we're the ones that focus on the energy. So we become their outsourced energy partner of choice. Yeah, all businesses are being really hurt with energy prices at the moment for various different reasons, the war, the economic climate. But I think the key thing to energy users, be it us at home and large users in industry, is you've got to use it in a different way, and try and use less, and be certainly in businesses, be less dependent on taking energy off the grid. You need to get control of your own energy strategy, and the subsidies that have been put in place recently, they're not around forever. The newly announced one, the discount scheme, is a lot smaller subsidy than the previous one, and who knows, there may not be one next year. So actually, what customers have got to look at their overall energy strategy today, and it should be something they should have looked at previously, but it's always easy to focus on other things and make a difference. It may be that they've got carbon objectives, but everyone is squeezed financially at the moment, and sometimes you can hit both of those indices. Both of those indices, such as solar is a perfect example, reduce your energy costs and also reduce your carbon. So I think you've got to get out there, talk to people such as ourselves and other industry leaders out there, and the distributed energy show is a perfect place for customers to come and see people like ourselves and say, right, how do I start that journey? Because you start the journey today, it won't be delivering cheaper energy prices and carbon until at least another sort of 6 to 12 months down the line. So it's actually taking action, having those internal discussions, both at FD, operations, sustainability level, across the board. Everyone is interested in energy at the moment, and just start the discussion. And one of the things that we find often in our sales process and across our process with clients is talking to different levels of contact and really helping them understand what is available and what is possible. Yes, so Simon, our head of commercial, has been in the industry for 20 years. I worked with him when I worked at E.ON. He was in control of large generation assets behind the meter as well as front of the meter, connecting straight to the grid, and you know how large an organisation at E.ON is. So his expertise, as well as our his commercial expertise, as well as our expertise in the industry and technology, is around, let's talk about the industry, but often the industry doesn't change that much. So what are the developments in the area, certainly on the commercial side? So one of the things Simon's going to be talking about is our development of a commercial structure around oversizing solar. Typically, the best way to size a solar project on your roof or in your grounds is to match it with your demand. However, there's a really good commercial opportunity to oversize now and export either to grid or even export to another site of your own, and we can manage all of that export and matching the load at different sites. And it's a fairly complex commercial structure, but what Simon does really well is simplify it into really simple language. And because we are one of the only players in the UK market, and it's quite established in markets such as the US and Australia, I think we can really demonstrate to clients that just because you've got a small energy load under your roof and you've got a massive roof, don't just cover a quarter of your roof, cover the whole lot of it, because it can really commercially benefit you as a business. And I think Simon's going to demonstrate some of the scenarios that clients can leverage, how you work with an organization such as Ylem Energy with this particular project, and we've now called it peer-to-peer, and we feel it's a really exciting model, commercial structure, and ultimately projects that we can deliver for the large corporate industry market. Would be really busy. So it's been, just was it December 21, and COVID's behind us, and actually COVID didn't really impact us from discussing generation and energy projects with our clients. But what we've got is a large amount of customers that are well mature in our process, and we're getting to the end of closing large projects, and we have closed large projects in between the last show and this show. We've got lots and lots of customers knocking on our door to ask us about how we can help them on their energy transition and reducing their energy costs and reducing their carbon. So it's been absolutely really busy, and I think that's everybody in the industry, not just ourselves. And it's the energy issues are facing everybody in this whole country, at home, at business, and it's a number one priority for people to look. So we're really looking forward to coming to the show again, and hopefully we have a really good audience and lots of people coming along to see us on our stand to have those discussions. Yeah, there may well be another bottle of champagne. I haven't thought about that quite yet, but we are sponsoring the cafe area, which is just by our stand. So we purchased a number of vouchers where people, if they come and speak to us, we'll give them a recyclable cup and a voucher, and they can go and get themselves a free coffee or tea or drink from the coffee stand. So we want to sit down with our clients, have a coffee, talk about their issues. I said before, it's about listening to our customers. So we're certainly going to be doing that. We've got some great team, a great team on the stand. That have been, I think, collectively across sort of 3 or 4 people, been in the industry over 100 years collectively, not individually, but certainly collectively. So that they really know their stuff. But yeah, certainly come to our stand, have a coffee, and may well come up with the idea of giving another bottle of champagne away this year.